years have come and gone since that day. How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one that stood alone against the storm. For the one they called. The warrior of light.
To run from my troubles. Until our friend returns, I will hold the line.
This town certainly has changed. I'm not at all for the better. I'm not going anywhere. I promise you, Infilia.
Good morning, gamers, and welcome back to Streaming Story Saturdays. Put that back on. Today is finally our intro and entrance into Shadowbringers for Saphrine and her quest through the main storyline. We are finally forever done with Stormblood. God, that felt like it took forever. But yeah, we've finally got all that said and done. And now it's time to head off to the first and lands unknown. So, with all of that pomp and circumstance out of the way, let us talk to our little gremlin and get things started. What is probably going to be a long day. And that's not doing right. Apparently, our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down towards the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. A path I doubt we would have never found had the Ironworks and the Suns not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eager eyes aplenty down there, checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, it sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover. As long as you don't have me go to another political meeting, I'm glad. Exactly. So I was thinking we should head and land a hand. The sooner we find this beacon, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is that mysterious voice is coming from. And the sooner we can work to find how to help our friends. We have to find a way to make them up. And before the Empire comes calling again, meaning we have no time to lose. There's a boat in the north of Silvertier, waiting to ferry people to the site, so let's be on our way. Alright, let's head out and ride on a boat to go find some mysterious artifact that was left by this slightly irritating voice. That was weird. Heading to the survey site, madam. It's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat. Well, they definitely brought a good amount of people.
Look how many people there are! Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We found bugger all without you.
Biggs! Wedge!
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse call it the chief of some other business, so we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thrice as hard, even.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in. What's that you got there?
Symbol
Now
looked
that
familiar.
looks promising.
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Now I have you.
You are right.
What's happening?
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
Wait, this must be it. The device. Well, this is supposed to happen.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Oh, safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
Well, it's time for the trip. Heading across the expanse.
Oh, do not look at me so.
You're slave to a tyrant. There's no freedom in that.
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you!
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this.
Infilia.
Your time has not yet come.
Maybe not. I don't think we're in the Eorzea anymore.
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Well. Look who
Rare
we
to
have
meet someone
here.
out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
Pretty bright night.
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time. And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk yet, he'd reply.
And
Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when. You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then.
this time, no Muggles to drink it away.
Well, I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around. Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Still got a long road ahead.
To dizzying heights it rises, the gleaming spire. Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy. There, it will all begin anew. Between dark and light, the pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
Alright. We see it in the distance. first Viera. Although technically not a Viera.
Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not. This is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions.
Are they 3?
From where do you hail?
I mean, yeah.
Do you take me for a fool? No such place exists. Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
Well, that's lovely.
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand, ring and all.
Poor fella.
Everything all right, Captain?
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest. I will escort her to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known. Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city. Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
Wouldn't that be a dream?
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private.
I don't think this counts as more private.
Right then. Before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons. I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you are still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief. And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
Reasons being... Yeah, let's check on the others first. Before we give him an earful.
Ah, that is a question with no simple answer. But all shall be explained in due course, I promise you. Let us begin with the glaring skies up above. Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light. It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. more than 9/10 of this star was lost. And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity. It was to save the First from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds, that I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes. And though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try, for in saving the First, you would bring salvation to the Source as well.
Care to
But
explain?
what manner of host harangues his guest in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
I mean, at least its entrance is pretty grandiose.
Such a proud and vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion. Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol, a monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
And here we are. I welcome my friend to the Crystarium. And we have a new quest music. Now, a full and frank discussion in privacy of my studies would seem to be in order. But I think our conversation would be more meaningful were you first to gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would have you visit a few of the Crystarium's civic leaders and glean from something of this world and its predicament. As you can see, this path will take you directly to the Aetherite. Convenience which I am sure you are only too familiar. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back to your etheric trail to find a connection into the source, believe it or not. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. After you've done so, walk up to the steps next to the Aetherite and head out to the left to arrive at the crystalline mean. This is where you'll find our collective of gatherers and crafters, as well as their spokesperson, Cutlass, one of the people I should like you to meet. Another is Moran. To reach him and his cabinet of curiosity, you'll want to avoid the aforementioned steps and take the exit on the left, simply continuing straight along and down until you've come to the large doors at the end of the path. third and final person I should like you to meet is Bragi, our man in charge of trade and distribution. He is to be found in the markets, which you can access from the opposite side of the Aetherite Plaza. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you'll visit major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions were simple enough. My apologies. I forget how confusing the Crystarium can be for newcomers. Not to worry, I'm sure you'll soon be accustomed to its twists and turns. In all honesty, the true challenge may be in finding the right way to approach its citizens. As you've discovered during your encounter with the captain, the people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars, and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. That being the case, whenever they ask whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There's an unspoken rule about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. Really? Whenever you're finished, make the rounds and pray meet at the large courtyard in the center of town. Until then... Alright. Let us go run about. First things first. Alright. Say we go right then left. Quaint little shops. New to the city, friend. Spinning head and wide eyes gives you away. Welcome, my name is Bragi, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district the official title, but I'm not happy using it. Too floored of a high. In any case, our merchants stock a range of equipments from Mistrils such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, it's a cute name. Alright, something wrong. Emulsions, huh? Let's see if I can straighten this out. See those two in front of you? The shorter one is a human. The taller one is an elf. Not an Elzen and not an elf, whatever. That sturdy individual is a Galligan, whilst the one with the horns is a Drow. And then you have the large, scaly chaps with long tails and knacks for Reagan livestock. Those would be the Zoo. Which is apparently not the name you know them by. Now I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from. Ah, the same as the Exarch, eh? Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years. Despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simplest things. Did you say years? But not to worry. You should find yourselves confused by the local language or customs. I'll be here to answer your questions. And we're just gonna skim over the part that he said years. Even though at best it's been a few weeks. I'll get that new thread later. Actually, on here, just saw it. Pick this one. Up, up. The trivium. Yeah, this part of the Crystarium gets to be a little annoyingly complex. So that crystalline is right above us. This is this individual. Excuse me, miss. Are you recently come to the city, perchance? I'm quite familiar with our civic rules, you see, and, Well, what I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A book scroll, even? A scrap of scribbled on parchment? My apologies. Literature is somewhat of an obsession of mine, as well a profession. Librarian Morin, not to full sense. And this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manner of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for written. As loss of life and land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of academic research? Oh, so you have an interest in modern history? Splendid. A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives. I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have just the illustrated history book for children. So, just a moment, and I'll fetch it. And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair? Make yourself more comfortable. On to the list, then. A 100 years ago, or nearly enough to not matter, Midlands, known as the Warriors of Light, slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, the light began to pour into our world as if from unseen cracks. It pooled and swelled without cease until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We call this calamity the Flood of Light. Everything it touched was leached from life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Yet, just when it seemed that all would be lost, a savior appeared before us. The Oracle of Light stood twixt us and approaching doom. and by her power did she stay the flame. Thus was Norvrant, and Norvrant alone spared the fate of Orisho. Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspects to bedevil the few folk who survived. These sin eaters were light incarnate, and their vigilant presence stole the night from Norvrant's sky. Even now they circle the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. Or if you would rather I speak of other matters, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad of your company. And that's a pretty simple backstory of where we are right now in the world of the first. Shall we take that back to the main hall? And now we go upstairs. Go upstairs, thank you. That is one big tower. We got our menders, we got our levies. We grab this before we talk to that. Rare to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? Not here. I'm gonna guess you're new to our fair city. Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. The Exarch can throw up a barrier if sin eaters come knocking, so it'd be a damn sight safer here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized, too, thanks to us in the mean. We work together to procure materials and resources, and craft the goods which make city life possible. This is the place to visit if you ever need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Just don't go thinking it'll be all handed to you on a plate like those Umorian layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labor, you don't have that whiff of indolence about you like some folk I've met. Still can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel comfortable. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him. And any friend of his is a friend of ours. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of thin air. Wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around his base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. And that's how things in the Crystarium began. As the Exarch's invitation, buildings started going up, and with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded into a thriving metropolis you see today. City stood here for a decade now. And the elder among us swear the Exarch looks exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but for all his secrecy, he has never yet let us down. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then folk here will respect your wish for privacy. I am more than a little curious to see any cracked talent you might be hiding. If you've to contribute on that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to sail it in. Just ask for Caitlin. I'll find you a niche here in the crystalline mean. You can help us keep the cogs of the city greased and turning. And eventually that'll be where the crafting quest line will end up. So where are we going? Ah, he said the courtyard. That's right. Where am I hearing that random come from? He could wait. Well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you form a clearer picture of this world and its people? Yeah, we got a pretty rough backstory filled in just a few moments. Yes, it would seem you were treated to the most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore. It was necessary that you grasp these things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noticed the details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the selfsame one you know from the source, transported to the first in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds. Something of a trial run for your eventual rise. And although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set wheels of fate in motion. So you were literally grasping at straws. Did you know? You've done as I've requested, and I've learned something of the world in which you find yourself. Now is time I fulfilled my half of the bargain and explained what has befallen of your comrades. That is a conversation I'd rather have in the privacy of my quarters, however. I must go on ahead to the tower and organize a few things, but I shall see that the guard knows to admit you. I don't want you to see how, messy my room is. Let's screw with him a little. I am not familiar with that name. Is there something I should know? An extraordinary tale, but I'm afraid I have found no such individual residing in the tower when it passed into my care. Mayhap we can revisit that mystery another time. For now, I think it best that we focus on the present. Because the last time we saw our good boy Raha, he was sealing himself away in the Crystal Tower on the surface. So, if the tower that he stole is from some time in the future, and it would lead to believe that Graha was still asleep there. So to say, at least.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind. Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow scions. To put it simply, they are here in the First. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the Source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the First, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence, and thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time.
Okay.
As for your companions, however, Yustola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5. Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the First for almost a year.
I'm sure they're all thrilled about that.
My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
Well, that went over swimmingly with them, I bet. Right? Right.
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least. As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift. In that chaotic no-man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the First was rejoined with the Source. This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die. And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the First, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips. I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least? Excellent. You will not regret this.
I highly
With
doubt
settled,
that,
we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
Okay. Well, at least everybody arrived safely. Albeit in an interesting fashion. The Crystarium boasts a number of residential districts, but I've been informed that a room has just become available at the Pendants, which, as it turns out, is perfect. Our path there will take us past the markets, and I was hoping to give you my own introduction to their wares. Come along. Ah, this is the one I missed earlier. Is that all of them? No, the Pendants is the last one I've got. Maybe? I don't know, this was around the time that they were getting better at it. So it might be a hoist.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium. What you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here. Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough. Each nation once minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood. After much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here. And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice. From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter. Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you.
Mm-hmm. Tombstones, huh? Yep. The grind
but I fear it
begins
would
again.
not be practical for us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your home world. Avan Kerm Sin?
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
Oh, God.
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine lady is a friend from a distant realm. And we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from her home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift? How wonderfully exciting! What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did! You've the heart of a pixie, you do. A After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin. But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
I think so.
Just as I thought! Then you've a good stout connection with your home, through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass. From this moment forth I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Snay Yak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other. Raise your hand.
I mean, it shouldn't hurt too bad, right?
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Mayhap a message to your friends in the Source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Sure. Oh, that's a flip of the coin. Trial would be more fitting with the Echo.
Consider it done.
As you heard, that was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by Pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium. Right, we were going to organize a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
And now we have everything linked back to the summoning bell. So we can go over here. And that should be the last one, I think. No? What am I missing? Oh, did I not get the one to the launch? Yeah, we didn't go over to the launch, that's right. Ah, there you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You have a private room here in the Pendants for the duration of your stay, to make use as you see fit. When you are ready to retire, the manager will show you to your lodgings. Pray rest and recuperate, and we shall reconvene in the Ocular anon. I believe that covers all of the practical concerns. Thank you for answering my call, Saphrine. We are denied the comforting blanket of the night, but may peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. A pleasure to meet you, miss, and welcome to your new home at the Pendants. Your room is ready if you care to retire. Not bad. Not bad indeed. Armoire, grimoire, or glamour dresser, sorry. And the view of the endless day.
You
It's you.
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the source. What? Did you just... You can hear me? Oh, gods, how long has it been? That was what I called myself in your world. The Warrior of Darkness. My real name is Ardbert. I used an alias in the source. A daft one, looking back. If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood. We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the source, and tried to hasten their goddamned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia, how she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the First.
Although it wasn't
The flood
actually
was poised to
Minfilia.
swallow Norvrant. Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness. Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
Well, people are saying about 100 years.
100 years. 100 long years. My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift. I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
That's a very good question.
You were summoned to save the First. A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it. Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this god's-forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
Okay. Mildly jaded. Mild. Nope. Definitely was not a dream. We are definitely here on the first. Alright, now where is everybody?
How did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest.
Aside from my spectral roommate.
I was not aware the room was haunted, and you were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know. Now, let us return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts. This map shows the lands of Northrend, the only area to be spared the flood of light. The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland. To the north is the fairy kingdom of Ilmeg. That is where you'll find Urianger. To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest. Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty. As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement. Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armareng. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin-Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe.
It has nothing to do with the fact that she did not want to do anything with any politics.
So, will it be Calicia or Armareng? It matters not which you choose to visit first. Simply inform me once you've made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount. Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin-Eaters. Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
Great. He has become the Astidian of the First. Alright, let's go find the boy. You will visit Alphino and Colosia, then? Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of making the journey. Here is a letter of introduction, presented to Sem Digimal, Master of Beast at Tenemus Rookery. He will take care of you. When you see Alphino, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Okay, so let's get it going. Gotta head up for the rookery. So that is the last mini rights that I have to pick up. And should be up there, I believe. We'll deal with you in a second. This first. Did I already pass? Oh, we're not heading to the rookery for this one. Well, we need to get that anyways. And those are our chocobo quarters for this new area. So now we go down here. Rookery. Your face is unknown to me. What have you business have you in my rookery? Signed by the exarch, no less. Guess I can provide you with an borrowed from passage Calusa. I'll pick out a friendly one. No chocobos? I see one right there. Chocobo? You hail from one of Norman's more isolated settlements, perchance? Or there are a few places where they ride little elves? Here in the Crystarium, mounts like the Grey Fellow here are far more commonly used. Seeing as you're plainly unaccustomed to riding tomorrow, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zune worth of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring your arrival safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Morrow Lodge. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mountains. See, they have chocobos. Just probably not as populated as the ones were before the flood. You want to fly tomorrow to Calusa? Well, I suppose Master Jiao is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the Mount Short. Yep, gotta do the whole ether compass crap to get flying in these zones again.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At Light's Edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
The strange thing, it doesn't really look that big. We've arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach, on the eastern continent of Calusa. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent. The native beasts are not more dangerous than anything else. It is a people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance. That is Yulmor, the island's main settlement. It rivals Crystarium in scale, and it was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Yulmoran elite have fancied themselves the master of what remains of our broken world. They've gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. Crystarium is among many who resist their heavy-handed authority. And while we are not at war, our relation with Yulmor is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially within the vicinity of the city. I am glad that we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. So what you're saying is that city in the distance is basically a bunch of entitled dicks. Good to know. When you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Ivor. Ivor keeps an eye on everything that happens on Calusa, and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme. That will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend, and I will stay here until the Amaro, until you're ready to return. Alrighty. Let's go find a lost boy. Hey, our first one. We didn't even have to look for it. What you after? Fish? Crab? I think I got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you got a taste for 'em. Ooh, a dove. Love me a bit of time. Chuck some in a pan is like a bloody festival of flavor. Now what is it I can do for you? Can't say there's been major upsets to report these past few weeks. Alphino? I know the one. Our young champion of the downtrodden. Yulmor's richer than all of Norvrand put together, but it's a different story for them that live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him. But you'll need somewhere quiet to be, away from crime noise. Make for still time. That's the Fisher Village, just up the path there. Looking for a run-down excuse for a tavern the locals call Leaky Keel. Wait for there, and I'll see Alphino joins you. And honestly, with all the time we spend in Limsa, Leaky Keel sounds pretty home. Get this while we're at it. This your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What'll have you been? Fine choice. And what will you be paying with? Well, now those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like this? I'm sorry, dear. I don't doubt that they have value, but I have touched on test their purity. I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come by some other arrangement. Here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more than we have. What say you to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find and then visit the caretaker and give him an earful for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring likely as not. Do that for me and you can laze about here as long as you like. Fine. I was looking for something to knock around. That's one. And we've got our square grapes. Yep. Oops, wrong click. Alright, let's wake this guy up. You make me knock one more time and I'm breaking down the door. Oh. Well, that explains why he's not been responsive. As to where he went, who knows? Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town, outside Yulmore. You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And there I was thinking you were another dream. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You're more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house. It's blue.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Tis good to see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alfino, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
You have room to speak.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Well, you see, the Empire, is in a current state.
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral Calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
Black Rose.
Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion.
Oh?
I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Well, don't have anything else to do right now, so...
And so we take to the road once more.
Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city's outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, we may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Yulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west, then cross a small bridge. Alright, west it is. And I guess that's your definition of a small bridge? Colossia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. Had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whenever calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No! Get away from me! Over there. Quickly, someone is in trouble. Oh, thank the fates, you... Look out! Ah, my poor heart. Thank you, young miss. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from where I fell. That compared to what else in store for me before this brave soul came to our rescue. Honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were. And I knew there was no one left to hear my scream. Not that it stopped me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue outside Yulmore with the rest of them. Not those fancy lord and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gates has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin-Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life now. I'm sure a strapping lass like you has less fear. But I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's not to be hair, but a cobwebs of memories. Tis as the lady says. Many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of those monsters? Brief history, then. 'Twas not long after the flood swallowed the better part of the world that the Sin Eaters first appeared, some beastly, some beauteous. Yet, regardless of their form, all seem incapable of speech, and all are driven by the same insatiable appetite for mortal ether. They are predators, and we are their prey. Pelusia suffers from far fewer attacks than most regions, but even so, the list of Sin Eater victims grows longer by the day, a tragedy without end. Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Well, at least we saved one person this time. Alright, so back to where the road forks, then head west. Well, doesn't this look lovely? Almost reminds me of the broom back in Ishgard.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Chosen being a key word there.
Ah, I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
She's not here to compete. Leave her be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
Oh, there's a choice of outfits. Never trust Harlequins.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all! Yulmore extends its warmest regards. let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu! Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the City of Splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
Jeez.
Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident.
Oh god, that bread.
For
Oh.
you.
Hello!
Enjoy.
Thank goodness.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity, yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, that was a fun interaction of sorts, to say. Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of the residency must be won via a contest with ever-changing rules. They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Yulmore's current ruler came into power. Yet from what I've seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the city, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I've tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now that I worry. Well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gatetown and judge the situation for yourself. Hey, it's the jerk from before. Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Yulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should have ditched that sour-faced brat and made a home for yourself here. Gatetown's not much to look after, aye? At least it's safe, and that mule is the best thing I've ever tasted. There's nothing else. Yeah. Literally, beggars can't be choosers and such. Gotta cook it however we can. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of a life that awaits me in those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? Jesus. Actually, it's almost like strays at a pound. Wait for that one master to show up. We'll actually take him in. You've seen what Gate Town has to offer. These people can no longer fend for themselves. They become dependent on the handouts of meal and believe Yuma is the answer to all their woes. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, unable to conceive any other way of life. Which do you disapprove of more? The elites, or the ones who bow to them? 'Tis difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's interior workings. Mayhap it is that uncertainty which always made me feel so ill at ease here. Not that it matters. However unjust this system seems to me, if these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. Take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have suffered, who have chosen to forego Yoma's largeness, are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left unemptied and untended, hastening to the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I am not convinced that Yoma's generosity truly serves the best interests of Lucia's people. I'm not so naive as to think there is some miraculous solution to this, yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from property by the hand of the capricious. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Yoma's gates. 'Tis fortunate that you have arrived when you did, Saphrine. I've been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes planned, it should come to fruition. There is a beast tribe here who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island. The Undu, they are called, though you and I know them as Sahagan. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos, and rarely have dealing with collectors. As Tataru took such great pains to impress upon me during my stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular. And when I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Umoran lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums or pumpkins. Yes, I have come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. My appointment with Yondu is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me with the exchange? Excellent. I should be glad of your company. Crap. First thing is first. We must pay a visit to Moshamona, my supplier in ranch. Come, it is just to the northwest of here. Go to the north. Is that a rare? Seems out of place. Maybe a B rank? No, might be a B rank. Nope, that's a B rank. There's something I can do for you, friend. Good day to you, Moshimo. This is my associate, Saphrine. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Eh? I loaded up your lackey with the goods not long ago. My lackey? I know no such person. Mistel lad, short blue hair, no? Said he'd come on your behalf, and since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed. Confounded. Someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. But this charlatan was here not long ago. He could not have gone far. We should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point on the south side of town, and I shall take the west. So we gotta find a Mistral lad with blue hair. Short blue hair. Oh, good. The searchy game. I'm always good at this, right? It's the shoe bill of darkness. Saphrine, any sign of him? You have a keen eye. Let us move in before he makes a good escape. These evil birds.
There you are. The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear. Must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmoran's interest.
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
Well, that plan went out the window. Next.
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kai Shear, it was the difference between life and death. I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
Would you have been able to sleep?
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alfino, ever the slave to sentiment.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending. Shall we return to right then?
No, let's head to the left this time.
Is that... I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble.
Okay.
Come on. They may need our help.
Let's go check the body on the beach. Hopefully that fella finds his friends pretty quickly. Yeah. Yep. There we go. Hey, we found another one. We can hold him for a few seconds, right? That should take care of the worst of his injuries. Let's see. Beg you. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. The poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. All this blinding light, it is still cold for some reason. Thought I was certain I was dead. How ever am I to repay this kindness? We will settle for a tale beyond your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Tristal. I was invited to Yulmore to work as an artist. Wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them. But when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Valtry's city. Within days, they had brought me before the man himself. He asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the goddamn ocean. From up there? How were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Look, I suppose. Though if you hadn't found me when you did, you wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous. The citizens condone such barbaric punishment? Oh, without a second thought, when Lord Valtry passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Yulmore, his word is law. Well, he sounds like a fun boy to be dealing with. The more I hear about Yulmore, the more I am determined I am to see what awaits within these walls. I shall bend all my thoughts. But secure another way into the city, there must be something we can do. But first, we should convey Tristal to a shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal land. Away into the city. Yep, the boy is definitely certain on that one. are we going? Nope, not dealing with the shrimp. Thought I heard something. Might just be the distance. Pray accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. If you'll permit me, I would assist you in attempting to enter Yulmore, insofar as I am able, at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach. But since it's plain you've set your minds on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. Yulmore and Elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want. If not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone else to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince the people you have the talent for painting. Are you certain this is your livelihood? We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly, after all you've done for me. Besides, I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't long in this place. Not that the city's brooding over me. Nay, I shall move on to a new lands and new profession, and I shall keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. Well, good luck to you, wherever you end up. They say kindness is its own reward, but Tristel has repaid us with a gift, as timely as it was unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon his advice before another painter steps up and fill his vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with a brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I would hope. As for you, well, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, mayhap you could pose as my assistant. Then it is settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and await for the next appearance of those vile jesters. Always, always, always taking the role of someone's assistant, aren't we? See, nobody's gotten that E yet. That's good. Or not, maybe. Who knows? But it'll probably stay there until somebody goes and does their weekly hunt. Back to Gate Town. Alright, Alphino, let's see if this plan of yours pans out. Here they come. Oh, I guess it's not going to be one. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention once more. What a day it has been for the folks at the door. We welcomed a peddler who made pearls from a plum, and now we have a place for a painter of a plum. So come along and don't be slow. It is time to let your colors show. I couldn't mind. Portraits, at least. Landscapes and still lifes are so rarely commissioned these days. Oh, I thought I spied some new faces in the crowd. What fortune that you should feel at ease around an easel. What proof do you have of your prowess? Any masterpieces on your person? Sadly not. Everything I painted is sold soon, so... Such is the life of a walking artist. I have only my brush to testify for me, though you will note it has seen no small amount of service. Aha ho ho! Flecks of paint both old and new. Tool much loved and much used. Not a prop to be conjured on the hop. Very well. Come with us and we will put those talents to the test. And who is this hanger-on? Well-wisher or a parasite? Why, this is my assistant. She whose unfailing support allows my art to flourish. I will go with her or not at all. Parasite, then. We shall leave her fate in the hands of your new employer. It matters not to wit to us. And having fulfilled our latest vacant space, we retire to your more sweet embrace. What? Oh, mercy me, the mule! We almost took our leave without leaving our loving token. We must empty the sacks ere we make our back. And...
Redemption is beyond us. The lament of all but saints and fools, and the comfort of the lords and ladies of this accursed place. Once they held fast against the madness, only to embrace the coming cataclysm and delight in the end of days.
City of pleasures at the end of time.
Perhaps in rapture they seek to lose themselves and the misery they share. Or perhaps for them alone, the promise of eternal pleasure really does hold true.
Welcome, welcome to the city of final pleasures. Feel free to weep at its magnificence. No, not even a single tear. Moving right along then. Our first test is to register you as residents. You know, to make it all nice and official. We'll smooth the way, so you just need to put up your happy faces and head on through the joyous hall. The Bureau of Immigration is the first room on the left side of the passage. Declare your name and occupation in a nice, loud voice. The clerks will tell you where to go from there. Oh, and pay no mind to those folks off the side of the road. Much like the hopefuls in Gate Town, they haven't earned the right to enter the city proper. If, however, you enjoy basking in the envy of your fellow men, then by all means take your time. But why waste another moment? Go enjoy the beginning of your new life in paradise. The Bureau of Immigration, was it? I suppose we'd better show ourselves willing for the time being. Even though it won't be useful, we'll just get this for the time. That's the sky washer, not a... There's the door. Let's... Here. Welcome to Yulmore. Fortunate friends, may I have your names? I am Elfino, artist, and this is Saphrine, my assistant. Ah, yes, I was informed of your imminent arrival. You can forego the usual interview and begin with your process of registering papers forthwith. Now, the citizens of Yulmore are divided into two classes. They are the free, who are blessed with the favor of Lord Valthry, and the bonded, who work in the employ of the free. You will be joining the ranks of the bonded. Your duties are to serve a patron in the capacity for which you are chosen. In your case, painting pretty pictures. Should your patron dismiss you for any reason, you must find another sponsor among the free or accept any work as a general laborer. I see. And might you tell me something of the patron we are to serve? The two patrons, actually. Chai Nuz and Dulia Chai, a mistral couple from whom most refer to as the Chais. They're both gentle souls, but I would ask that you conduct yourself with respect and humility, for your own sake as much as theirs. Now a moment, please, while I complete the relevant paperwork. All in order. These are your registration documents. Take those papers next door and submit them to the clerk. Once they have been stamped, you will be officially Yulmorean citizens. Enjoy your new life in paradise. Welcome to the Bureau of Registrations. Papers, please. What have we here? Alphino, artiste. Saphrine, artiste assistant. To be employed in the service of Lord Chai Nuz and Lady Julia Chai. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Your registration is hereby approved. I think best we deliver you to the Chai's residence before... Oh dear. Your smell is hideous. Do you crawl here through a ditch? It's like an unholy miasma of dust and sweat. the muck of some unwashed beast. Proceed directly to the Lassery next door and scrub yourselves clean. Use whichever showers are free. After you've rinsed away that stench, you'll want to splash yourselves with this perfume. Liberally. Once you've made yourself presentable, then you may proceed to the Chai's residence. Coriene, the guard by the stairs, will give you directions. I hadn't realized we were so aromatic. Well, you have been out and about for quite some time. Alright, Alphino, try not to fall in. Alright, and where? Oh, I'm going out here to perfume up. What's the saying? Spray, delay, then walk away. Oh, you've showered and dressed already, have you? Is it not... That is not to say... It seems rather exposed for one's absolutions, does it not? Your sister will be much quicker about it. Wouldn't she just... Very well. I shall endeavor to emulate her boldness then. Courage, Alphino. Try not to drown in the tub, please. Well, that was bracing. I believe the lingering smells of the road have been successfully expunged. Shall we go and present ourselves to our new patrons, then? Alright, let's climb the stairs to Endless Paradise. You're looking to present yourself to the Chais, are you? Let me explain how the city's layout, then. Imagine 3 layers, one on top of the other, like a cave. This layer is called the buttress. Above us is the understory, where the military has their headquarters, and above that you've got the canopy, which is where the free citizens of Yulmore spend their days. So if you want to find your new patrons, you need to keep climbing until you run out of stairs and look for the Grand Dame's party. They'll be in there like as not. Great! More stairs for endless climbing. Endless, endless, endless climbing. And we'll get that 8th rate later on. It's not important as of the moment. Almost there. There we go. Fortunately, we cannot get this one. Not special enough.
Oh, who's this then?
Lord and Lady Chai, pray forgive our intrusion. I am given to understand you were in search of an artist.
Ah, you must be the new,
Oh, goodness me! What an adorable boy! That silken hair, those pearly cheeks, oh, and you even smell wonderful, like a bed of flowers. I approve of this one, dearest. I am positive he'll paint us the most delightful pictures.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, as long as he paints better than that talentless wretch we sent packing last week.
Wonderful, wonderful! Welcome to Yulmore.
Alphino, if it please you, my lady. And this is my assistant.
Your assistant? I've heard of folk bringing in family members, but this seems a bit irregular. Aren't you a little young to have a protege?
We are family in all but name, my lord. Though we share no blood, we have stood by each other through life's many challenges, resolved to prevail together or not at all.
If he's not lying.
'Tis she who best understands my work. With her unique insight guiding my hand, the art I create is sure to satisfy your expectations. Once the picture is begun, of course, I shall have no need of constant encouragement. And so I wondered, rather than her being in your way, might it then be permissible for my assistant to explore the city she has so longed to see? Out of gratitude for her priceless contribution to my art, I thought it only fair that I make this humble request on her behalf.
Oh, did you ever hear of such devotion? Of course your assistant must have her wish. She shall be free to roam to her heart's content. Isn't that right, darling?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course, dearest. Quite right.
Apparently Lord Chai is in the happy wife is happy life mindset. Now, you have the opportunity to experience Yulmore. I suggest you make the most of it. Explore the city's top to bottom. In other words, I would start with the canopy and go from there. Try wandering around the market stalls, mayhaps. Such places are usually filled with colorful characters, only too eager to share local gossip with a friendly visitor. I would appreciate it, of course, if you could share any discoveries with me in turn. We should both learn as much as possible about our new place of residence. Well, we got our bell, we got our merchants, we got our crafting vendors, and all the other vendors that we will not be able to access until later on. Oh, hello there. Fresh visitor, are we? Seem lost. Well, 'tis lovely to make your acquaintance, and speaking of acquaintances, you wouldn't happen to have run to my attendant on your wanderings, would you? Big, strong lad, long hair, tied back. He was escorting me on a shopping errand when I realized I dropped my handkerchief. Now I've been waiting here all alone, while he's been off searching for it. Not terribly fond of being alone. If you do see him, I would be obliged if you could pass on this message. Forget the silly handkerchief and return to my side at once. Well, let's go find him. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the assistant that we're looking for, right? You do have tied back here. Wicked white, that was close. Thank you, friend. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come along. I was trying to rescue my lady's handkerchief, you see. The wind must have blown it off the edge. Luckily, it caught onto something. Not if I could stretch out far enough. I mean, if you're going to take that kind of risk. She is my entire world. Without her, I am nothing. When I first came to Yulmore, I only thought of improving my lot in life. There is so much more to this city than wealthy and plenty. There is no war here, no conflict. The residents all treat each other with warmth and respect. My mistress has been ever so kind to me, and I can think of no other place in the Colosseum where I could possibly be happier. Sorry, I might have been gotten a bit carried away. I find it hard to stop when I start counting my blessings these days. Please, you should come with me to meet my lady. Once she hears of your deed, you'll be witness to her generosity firsthand. What? Lonely, you say? Curse my clumsy feet. I must return to her immediately. Yeah, I kind of forgot the primary. My attendant told me everything. I am so very grateful you were there to offer your assistance. As if he were a member of my own family. I could not live the wonderful life I lead without him. We, free citizens, owe the bonded our unending gratitude. Mayhap in other society, our different standing would breed prejudice or resentment, but in Yulmore, most glorious measure is in place to avert such unpleasantness. Part of that measure requires that the free surrender their fortunes. Upon registering, all of our property, financial, intellectual, or otherwise, is given over to the city. In exchange, we are provided with ample funds and commodities to live a life of pampered luxury. Being liberated from the concern of earning coin has almost miraculous effect on people's outlook. There are no rivals to compete against, only fellow residents with whom to enjoy our tranquil existence. Now, if you'll excuse us, I must see to what markets have to offer as a reward for return of my handkerchief. Oh, and I've not forgotten you, of course, our courageous messenger turned rescuer. Well, I see their point of view that the removal of chase for coin and greed has kind of toned down the whole competition and cutthroat mentality. But still. All of this talk of relying on the bonded, and I haven't given a thought as to what your duties might be. I hope I haven't interrupted your work unduly. A tour of the city, is it? Then you really must visit the Beehive. It is always bustling with activity. Local humor. Anyway, a lady by the name of Tsitsi B usually has her seat near the entrance. She will gladly speak with you on any number of topics, assuming you find yourself on her good side. Alright, let's go visit Final Fantasy XIV's nightclub. Official strip club. and take it all in. Welcome to the Beehive, my little drone, seeking to sting of excitement to liven up your day. I can tell at a glance when folk are new to our happy colony. It is the nervous fluttering you see, always gives them away. Why don't we play some cards to set you at ease, eh? Quick of high or low. It's a simple matter of guessing who has the bigger hand. If you win, I'll grant you a single favor, within reason, of course. Interested? Alright, let's see how good my luck is today. Good for you. No time like the present, I say. Three cards for you, 3 cards for me. You flip one of yours over, and I flip 2 of mine. Now, what's your call? Will your total be higher than mine or lower? It's possible that we got the higher hand. You're going with high, then? Right, let's see what we've got. Oh, most definitely. My cards have added up to 13, and you have? Total... Barely. Damn. Congratulations, yours guess was right. Usually I concede defeat at this point, but what say you to a rematch? One more win and we'll talk about that favor. Alright. Another match of high or low. Come on, the little honeybee, all we need, all of our diversion. That's the spirit. Let's sort out the deck. Three cards for you, 3 cards for me. You flip one of yours over, and I flip 2 of mine. Oh, there's no way I can be higher than that, right? Now, what is your call? Will yours be total higher or lower than mine? You're going with low then, right? Let's see what we've got. Jesus. My card's up to a total of 16, and you have? Holy hell. How? 18. Wow. That is some luck. Oh dear, looks like the match goes to me. That's what I like to hear. Let me shuffle the deck. Let's see if we actually get a shuffle. That was insane. Oh, this is gonna suck. What will your total be? Higher or lower than mine? You know what? We've been high twice, so let's go for low. Going low then, right? Let's see what we've got. My cards add up to the total of 13. Son of a... We can actually hit higher than that. Mother. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. The hardest part so far has been the card game. Really? That's insane. Oh, there's no way in hell we're going to be lower than that. Now, what is your cost? That is definitely high. My cards add up to 10. What do you have? 20. Well, well, would you look at that? I think you've got a knack for this, newcomer. Congratulations, victory is yours, as is the prize I promised. Come, whisper in my ear then, and don't be shy. Tell old Tisa what she can do for you. That's all. How delightfully wholesome. But if it is knowledge you want, then it is what you shall have. In my humble estimation, the most wondrous thing about this town is how safe we are from the Sin Eaters. You say Lord Vothri was born with the power to command them, which means no Yulmoran need ever raise a weapon in defense of the city. Was that the kind of thing you wish to know? If your itch still needs scratching, you might get a few words out of Athron over there. There's not a merry sot likes more the sound of his own voice. He already has a Mithra, so... Was new to humor, you say? Only just arrived and already looking to peel away the layers of mystery. Oh, I'm all for chatting. But you need to slow down and enjoy life, my friend. I'll tell you what, you hop on that stage and give us a dance first, then we can have our little talk. And you don't even want me to take off the clothes. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you want me all the way up here. Alright, you gotta get second showing. That's the way. Dance like there's tomorrow. Now, that was a show. You're welcome to clamber up on the stage anytime you like. So, what was it that you wanted to ask me? Ah, yes, something about our fair city. Well, I can tell you, it wasn't always so peaceful as it is today. The Yulmoran army may be a very essence of military might, but even in our forces saw grievous losses in the war against the Sin Eaters. Things changed for us, around 20 years ago now, when the old ruler's son came to power. He got this way with the Eaters, you see, and turns them docile as house cats. I wouldn't be exaggerated to say that they've become something of an ally to you. No longer an enemy to be feared. And yet elsewhere, they still fools who insist on fighting their losing battles. Ha! Toast to Lord Vothri. Well... the enemy that became the friend that still threatens the world. All is not right in Yulma. All is not right. Oh, you've returned from your jaunts around the city so soon. You needn't have hurried back. Young Alphino has yet to put brush to canvas. One cannot rush good art, I'm told, or good artist apparently. Ah, finally. Uh-huh. I've put together an ensemble out of the garments you chose. This is satisfactory. Oh, good goodness gracious me, that last outfit was precious, but this makes you positively dashing. Truly, you are a handsome boy, however am I to decide? You're gonna have to pay me a lot to not inform Tataru about this one. Exactly. This lad's an artist, dearest, not a dress-up doll. It is about time we set him to work for a reason we called him here. Must we? I do love a good painting, but I thought since we are enjoying ourselves so thoroughly... Well, that's to say, as long as you... just make sure you give the lad some time to prepare. We know who will be upset if he's not ready to paint at a moment's notice. Whatever you say, darling. So, shall we pick out some jewelry next? Oh, he would definitely look adorable in that. Lady Chai seems very particular sense of beauty. Apparently that extends to how I should dress while sold. This obsession of hers, it works in our favor. The time I spent indulging in these distractions is time you can use to continue your explorations. For this excursion, I'd like you to delve into the layers below us. Sniff about the military headquarters. I'm sure the understudy has its own tale of tales. Alright, we'll go explore some more. While you enjoy your painting. And know fully well that I am going to tattle on Tataru, letting her know that her outfitting days are done with. In here? Oops, dropped the key. You're one of the bonded, aren't you? Like me? Please, I need your help. My throat, I can't sing anymore. I've been making excuses, but it's just not getting any better. My patron thinks I'm no use for him, then... I need you to sneak out to the derelicts and describe my condition to Thoric. Here's a list of the symptoms, and a hunk of meal to pay for his medicines. Please, I have no one else to turn to. Alright, outside then. Let's see, down... Now let's get lost in the understudy. Nope. 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 There we go. Now we can go down. Out of the buttress, out of the joyous hall, out of the glory gate. Although you could probably call it something else. Did we get that one? Okay, we did. Right. Couldn't remember on that. Bum, bum. There's the keeper. Well, that fell from a distance. Just all their scrap lying about. Heh, you need medicines, tonics, potions. A cure for an alien voice, is it? No, no medicine will cure this. Methinks your songbird has a lump in her throat. Must be cut out, excised, and even then the voice may never heal completely. Poor little songbird. Will they kick her from the nest, I wonder? Or they simply silence her chirps? Oh, your face. You didn't know of the many hopefuls who enter the city. Very few are ever seen to leave, even as corpses. Oh, you might be seeing a one or two fortunate fools hurl from balconies, but the rest gone. Town of nightmares it is, not for this ship's rat. Oh, no, no. I'm content to scurry about down here and nibble on the crumbs which fall from the table. This consultation is over. You have my verdict, and I have my mule. Good day. Well, he's a cheerful one. Did she get my medicine? So that's it? What am I to do if I can't sing? Ah, there you are, my sweet canary. Have you been crying again? Don't tell me your voice is still not on the mend. Oh, generous sir, have mercy. I've done all I can, but even the apothecary said... So, you have been suffering all this time. I am sorry, my pet. I hadn't realized your affliction was this grave. But you needn't fret. I shall not reward your hours of trilling by casting you into the street. You are too kind, sir. But what use if I cannot sing? I fear the day I've become more of a burden to you than a treasure. Then I shall have a word with Lord Vothry and arrange for your ascension. In that paradise where resides neither pain nor illness, with your song ring out clearly once again. Mayhap you think it a step too far. No, you would do that for me? Of course. Why, I would almost wish to hasten my own ascension, knowing your blessed instrument was waiting there to greet me. Yeah, ascension sounds too good to be true. Ah, you must be a new arrival. Allow me to explain. As all know, the Sin Eaters exist to devour the sinful, but also they serve to gather the souls of the innocent and shepherd them unto a celestial us. It is through Lord Vothry that we learn this truth. It is through Lord Vothry's grace that the free people of Yulmorl are destined to embrace salvation. We are blessed to spend our days surrounded by love and merriment, until at last we are called to our final rapture. Even the bonded may find a place within that host, should their patrons deem them worthy. Lord Vothry is a great man, isn't he? Now, if you'll excuse me, we must be on our way. May you find eternal salvation for the compassion you have shown my precious canary. All too suspicious on that ascension front. Alright, let's go back and see what Boy has accomplished. Hopefully finished his painting of sorts. Actually, it's not that bad. 'Tis good to see you back. You were taking so long I began to worry something had happened. I've begun sketching an outline for the portrait, but nay. Chais appear otherwise occupied. Will you share your investigations have gleaned thus far? So, Lord Vothry boasts some manner of influence over the Sinuitas, does he? That would explain the reverence in which he is held by the citizen. As for this ascension business, I cannot help but put in mind that apothecary and his ominous remarks. So many folk have entered the city over the years, then where do they go? Where indeed? Actually, before we do that, let's take a good look. For a sketch, that's very damn good, I think. Huh. I take my eye off you for a moment here, chatting away with that assistance. I assume the outline is done then. Oops. What in the blazes? It's so unflattering. Explain yourself, Alphino. Where's the artistic interpretation? It should evoke images of affluence and nobility and overwhelm the viewer with his boundless beauty. Lord Chai, you stated this portrait was to commemorate your anniversary. Yours being a joyous one. Seems to me that a realistic portrayal... Realistic? I do not want realism, I want perfection. A spectacled, slackened jaws and weakened knees to make people cry out in amazement. Now fetch a blank canvas and... I say, did that come from above? Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A tale to make you quiver and your noble blood freeze. There was a villain on the loose, set to ruin our fair city. But our lord has gotten him now, and his fate will not be pretty. Yes, the hammer of justice is poised to come crashing down, and one and all who watch it fall are invited to join his lordship in the offer. Malcontent? How dreadful. This man is to face sentencing. That's right. In fact, if you're curious, it might be worth you to go along for the experience. The offer they mention is part of the emergent. The level above us is where Lord Vothries resides. Ordinarily, you'd be barred from entering, but it seems they'll be opening the doors for the next little while. The crown lift will take you up there. We had better not dawdle then. Judgment, eh? Wonder what the poor sod did to incite that wrath. And draw such a crowd as to such.
That's him. That's Vorthri.
With his pet senators, none less.
He's attended by sin-eaters. But how does he keep them from attacking?
Mercy! Mercy!
By the 12. Kaishia, what happened to you?
Who are these impudent louts? I do not recall requesting their presence.
Lord Vorthri, what is the meaning of this? Why is this poor man bleeding to death on your floor?
Why? You ask me why? Because criminals must be punished. And this man is guilty of fraud. He came to us, claiming to be a man of business. Yet his subsequent conduct has shown him to be anything but. Yun is a city built on love for one's fellow man. Those who have naught to give and live only to take are a blight upon our society! To atone for this crime, I ordered that he fling himself from the balcony. And he had the temerity to weep. Please, my lord, anything but that. What then is a man of mercy to do? But offer the sinner another way to show his contrition.
Another way? Meaning what exactly?
Sin-eaters are part of Yulmor's society, but they must be fed with ether. Living ether. So, I demanded an offering of flesh, carved by his own hand, from his own hide. And still, he could not do as I asked! A wholly unsatisfactory performance!
Tis true that Kaishia won his place here by fraud. But his actions were driven only by desire to share in your paradise. That you would cast him out, I could almost accept. But to humiliate him thus, to demand his very life? Is this truly the way of Yulmore?
Oh, you dim, deluded child. Have you ever paused to consider what it takes to maintain such a paradise in this barren, broken world of ours? The guarantee of safety and stability. The knowledge that if one only abides by the rules, one has naught to fear. I alone can offer these things, for I alone can command the Sin Eaters. And thus am I alone the voice of justice, and any who oppose me, villains to be punished.
Wow.
And people call this paradise.
As long as they
You
turn the
were
land
granted
on.
a place in my city for a particular skill. What was it?
Painting.
Oh, an artiste! Then you shall paint a picture for me of Yulmore. If I find your art pleasing, then I may excuse this display of insolence. Who gave you permission to tend to that criminal's wounds? I told you to paint me a picture!
What you need is a mirror, not a painting. It will capture the horror I see before me far better than I ever could.
Yeah, I don't think you'd fit in a mirror.
Can you walk? I think so.
They'll be back, don't worry.
Did that little worm just insult me? I'll kill them! I'll kill them all! I'll enslave their minds! I'll torment them! Torture them! Then tear out their hearts!
And no one is willing to say a thing otherwise. You made your choice. Wasn't the wrong one, but you still made a choice. Forgive me. In my anger, I seem to have marched us back outside again, though it is probably best that we leave this island altogether. I believe we have worn out our welcome in Yulmore. In any case, I've seen enough of the world's self-proclaimed capital city to convince me that our battle against the Sin Eaters, we will find few allies in Crucio. I will accompany you back to the Coastère. We need to regroup and think on our new strategy. Kalshia, I have done you a great disservice. You were hungry and desperate, and I offered you a solution without once considering the risks inherent in you accepting it. If I had but known the price you would made to pay. You gave me everything I needed to make your idea work. It was me who made a mess of things, not you. But even after all the trouble I caused, you stepped in and saved me. Now Lord Vothri wants us all dead. Why not come back with us to the Crystarium? I am certain we can find work for you there if you are willing. No, that would just be me leaning on your kindness again. I need to do some thinking, learn how to stand on my own 2 feet. Very well, but you must promise you'll be careful. The Umorans may come looking for us. I'll keep my head down, don't worry. And you take care too. Give me the chance to repay you for what you've done for me. Alphino? Lord and Lady Chai? What in the blazes did you do? You have the entire city looking for you. I took a peek at your unfinished painting, Alphino. I've had many beautiful and striking pictures painted for me, but there was something about your work. It was as if you'd caught the very essence of our love and rendered it naked upon the canvas. It was bold, unflinching, and I adored it. Please, you must come back with us and finish what you began. I will speak with Lord Vothri and vouch for your character. I am sure we can smooth things over any hard feelings. I am sorry, Lady Chai. There are more important matters which I must attend. More important? What could be more important than enjoying the days we have left to the fullest? Pray press me no further. We are leaving, but I would not presume to take the garments you were so kindly as to procure with me. One moment. I would not hear of it. Keep the clothes, you silly boy, I insist. And I shall make arrangements so you may pass through the gate without causing a stir. I expect you to come and visit. I will return, I promise you that. The outrage I witnessed must not go unanswered. Next time we meet, I shall be better prepared to confront the corruption which hides beneath the glittering facade. Well, at least we made it out safely, somewhat. Even if we did put Yomor on high alert. And now we know what kind of individual Vothri is. You know, the fun punching bag style individual. But we gotta find a way to deal with him that doesn't seem to be something we can handle currently at the moment. Be able to spread out as the scions are. So, we're gonna head back to the Crystarium with Alphino and see where that leads us. Thank you, my friend, for staying at my side through this whole sordid endeavor. Whilst not quite the joyous outcome I had hoped for, our efforts have nevertheless answered a great many questions. Suffice it to say, our plans for saving the First are unlikely to involve any aid from Lord Vothry and his subjects. Come, we must speak with the Exarch and chart a new course. This is far from over. What say you, Exarch? It is good to be back amongst friends. In such company I can finally turn my thoughts to the future. But ere we discuss all we have learned and begin planning our next step, I think it best that you visit Alice. Her familiarity with Amarang will no doubt provide us invaluable insight, and besides, I know she is eager to see you as I was. Bring a smile to her face, Saphrine. And with that, I would say our introduction into Shadowbringers is going along pretty well. We first started out at the Rising Stones, heading over to explore the Crystal Tower for the lost token that a certain Crystal Exarch left us, which helped bring us all the way to the First, where we learned about the Flood of Light, how this is possibly leading to the 8th Umbral Calamity on the Source, and how the Warriors of Darkness as we know them, or as they're called here on the First, the Warriors of Light, ended up inadvertently causing the Flood of Light, how they were tricked by the Ascians to come to the Source to become the Warriors of Darkness and cause all kinds of chaos, and how the current state of the First is. We went over to Calusia to look for our good old boy Alphino and see how Yulmore is basically subjugating through its proverbial kindness people of Calusia, while the nobles feast on their whatever they have for their final days, and got our great introduction of Lord Vothry, and what kind of individual he is, all around. But that is where we're going to stop for this time. Yeah, that's going to be a good point to call it. Next time around, we will go searching for Alice in Amarang and see what troubles she has been causing. As for us here at the corner, we are going to call it on that one. I don't think anybody's currently on right now, right? Yeah. So, as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.